Welcome to the AI Customer Service Podcast, where we deep dive into how artificial intelligence is transforming customer service and support, featuring insights from industry leaders and innovators. Today, I have a really special guest with me. He is my boss. Today, we have Devashish Mamgain, CEO and co-founder of Kommunicate. As you all guys might have known from now, if you have been listening, is an AI-powered customer service automation platform. And we have recently launched our AI automation for email. So we are moving beyond chat. We are going into a new territory, into email. So I got just the right person with me today, which is Devashish, who is the co-founder and CEO. Devashish, welcome to the session. Why don't you give a brief introduction about you and Kommunicate?
Thanks, Mona, for having me in the podcast. So hi everyone, my name is Devashish Mamgain. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Kommunicate. So my role is primarily intersection of product, customer support and the innovation. So where I look at very closely on what kind of support queries do we get, and that's how we get the feature ideas of what to build. We get to understand what are the challenges we are facing in the product, and that's how we get to improve our own product. So my role lies somewhere between our product, tech innovation, and the customer support team.
Yeah, I know you do a lot of coding because that I keep on seeing. Devashish, let's start with the bigger picture. Why is email support such a pain point for businesses today? And how? So you just told me that our team or our own customer support team gets a lot of problem on support emails. But how big is this pain point for businesses to solve? And why has other people not solved it using AI?
If you look at, primarily the email is usually the first, support channel that anyone opens in their company, right? And then later, live chat, real-time interaction that also came into place, and then the phone calls are also there for certain industries. So chat was easy to automate because in chat, user is usually asking one particular thing at a time. And it's like, it is very short, like one line or two lines, right? But in email, when an email is written, it is written with a lot of details over it. And there are a lot of things about the, person's email signature will be there. There will be some greeting message over there. So the kind of data that comes in the email is a bit higher than, as compared to what happens in chat. So if you get one line, it is easy to identify what is the intent of the user. But if you get a paragraph, it is a bit difficult. So that's where the challenge was, that in email, there was not much automation present. There was if and else conditions, which, sometimes people call it AI, but that's not really the AI. It is more of a rule based that, okay, if email contains certain word, then route it to one team. If email contains this, then route it there. But that's not really the AI. It is useful, but it's majorly, some rule-based algorithms. So that is one primary challenge why it took a lot more time into, getting into email. So email is one of the media which almost every company uses. Even if they have phone call or a chat, email is something that every company has one of the channel. The percentage distribution might change between email, phone call, and chat, but email is one of the channels that majorly all the companies use.
It's very interesting for me. Email is my formal communication channel, because if there's a problem with the TV or something like that, and I've been following up with them chat, finally I write to the support manager or like a VP, and that goes through email, because none of the other things we cannot record. Be it a phone call, hey, I've been staying here for waiting for like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or even chat. But email is something which you can show as a proof. Hey, I have been out to you for the last one, and it gets very serious. Email comes into picture when things gets very serious. That's for me very personal. It's kind of like that. Okay.
Correct.
So what are some of the biggest challenges you've seen businesses face when it comes to managing email support and ticketing systems? As businesses grow, this ticketing system starts to fail for them, and there's a lot of challenges comes into it. What could be those kind of challenges that you see at your company?
Yeah. So see, one of the challenge with the email is that, as compared to chat or, like calling based, system where there's the automation added, companies are using some email ticketing system for like many years. Now they have a lot of data there, and then their support team is also trained on that particular tool. Now it is very difficult for a company to say, let's say someone has like 500 support agents working on some, legacy tool from last 5 years, 10 years. It's very difficult to get them moved to a new platform. So that is one of the, main roadblocks over there. And then some of these legacy systems have not upgraded themselves over time because technology has changed. There's like a lot of AI that has come into picture now. So that is one blocker. And then another is integration with other systems, because usually in enterprises, it's not only the email which is there. The email data is connected to, something else, like their internal CRMs or their internal databases. Like, for example, e-commerce has order tracking system. So the orders are tracked somewhere else, right? User is writing an email here. So there's a lot of integration, challenges are also there. How do you connect different tools, internal tools seamlessly within that? So those kind of challenges are there. And then if you compare it with, if specifically with the AI, right? So in case of AI, when you want to train the AI system into some of the email history, there are challenges with the customer's data over there. So you need to filter out a lot of personal information of the user, because in case of email, every mail message has user's name, and in many cases, if someone has escalated some issue, it might also contain some confidential information. Let's say, hey, I made a payment using my card number ending with something, right? So there's like a lot of personal information as well, which needs to be extracted before email data gets into the AI system. So these are some of the challenges we have seen.
Right. And these are not just if a company does not upgrade themselves, get a new ticketing system. The challenge is not for the companies, but it's for the agents also, right? Because
Right.
they also need to move faster. They cannot be using the same way of working they used to do now. All the other teams, even engineering teams, are using AI to write their codes. Then why not customer support?
Right.
Why should they not be given this power? I totally agree to that. Okay, let's
Yeah.
get into Kommunicate now. Into the nuts and bolts of the whole conversation. You've recently launched Communicate's AI-powered email automation. How
Right.
does it actually work in very simple language for our
Yeah.
listeners to understand?
Okay. So the way it works is more or less any other channel, just that there is, in terms of getting the answers, training the data, that part has certain changes over there. So at a higher level, the way it works is user writes an email. It comes to a AI layer first before it gets to a human agent. It gets to a AI layer first, where the AI layer will look at the current set of training data that the AI layer has. It could be, past email conversations, it could be company policy documents. And in most of the cases, what happens is support teams usually have their own rule book where they have some FAQs listed down by themselves for their internal training. So when a new support person joins the team, that is a guide which is usually shared with the member that, hey, these are the typical questions that we get. So that data will get into the AI. So that is the training part. Now, when the user sends an email, that email first goes to the AI layer. So the AI needs to be attached to your email box. Now, AI will find the answer from the training set of data and will give reply back to the user over email. So the implementation is that where the AI also needs to be smart enough to send an email. Now, the main thing is, if for whatever reason, if the AI is not able to get to the answer, let's say the training data is not there, or the query is really complex and it requires some human involvement, that is when the AI system will notify a human agent in the team. And after that, the traditional play, what is happening in the market for a long time, that continues from there, where the support agent will come into the picture and they will look at the summary of all the conversation. So through AI, we are able to generate a summary. Support agent doesn't need to go through all the big email thread. They can just see the summary and then they can take care of the customer's query from there. So at a high level, this is how it works.
And how does the system identify that these are L1 queries or L2 queries or L3 queries? Like these are very basic, repetitive. And how do they identify, okay, this should go to an agent or this should go to a development team or a different team or an IT team?
Yeah, yeah. So see, while training, you can specify those things. Okay. So especially if you're using Gen AI, you can have certain prompts, right? So in certain cases, you can mention that, hey, if the user is asking, let's say, about payment failure, and you want it to be, assigned it to a team member, so you can have custom prompts written where you can say, if the queries are related to payment, you hand it over to a team. If the queries are related to XYZ thing, then you do that. So those can be done. Other than that, there is a rule where you can specify that, okay, if the AI is able to answer it with certain confidence score, answer that question. If the confidence score is below a certain number, then you hand it over to a human agent. Even if the AI knows the answer, but if it's not confident enough, then hand it over to the support agent.
And is that where NLP comes into?
Yeah, so generative AI internally uses NLP only. So when
Okay.
a user is asking something, that's a natural language which gets processed, goes to the AI system, and then the AI system will look at the training data, find a match, and then generate an answer from it.
Got it. And one concern with every organization is they don't want to use AI because it sounds robotic.
Yeah,
How do organizations ensure if they're using Communicate's email automation because they
yeah,
would have a certain set of brand language, they don't want to use this
right.
words. How do they ensure that the same consistency of their old branding
Yeah.
sticks new mechanism?
Right. Right. So there are two ways to do it. Okay. One is through prompt engineering, where you can give a prompt to say, hey, you are a AI assistant for XYZ company, and you need to be friendly, polite. So you can set the tone, right? You give friendly, professional. So those things you can do. Another way is if you have your existing data of your past email conversations, right? So that can be extracted to figure out what is your company's tone, like what is the tone or what is the style of writing, because every company has their own way of writing certain thing. So that data can be given to the model for training, and once the model is trained, the model understands that, okay, this is the way to generate these answers, this is the way to respond to the users. So that is one thing. And with respect to email, there is one thing special in email as compared to when we are handing over a chat based interface. In email, when a user writes an email, they are going to write an email with the proper greeting. It could be hi support team, or it could be a name of the person, right, or it could be dear sir. So these are like different style of greeting, different countries, different people use to the different style of the way they write an email, whether they write it in paragraphs, right, or they are like writing to the point, right. So now in this case, in case of email, the based on the user's query, the system can understand what is the tone. So you can set it in a way that, okay, use a similar tone, you in the similar fashion respond. If there is a greeting, you also greet it well, right. So those things can be customized into the system.
That's really cool. That will really help a lot of team automate because one of the major things we did a survey
Yeah,
was sponsored by Communicate where we asked customer service leaders what's one of the biggest problems you have. Obviously, one of the biggest thing they were saying we don't trust AI, but that's a different thing. But there was one very big concern was inconsistency in agent responses.
okay,
Every agent was giving response in a very different tone. With AI being
yeah,
placed in, it can at least ensure before sending the answer out, the
right,
AI can come in and say, "Hey, this tone is not
yeah,
matching with any tone." You
right,
can rephrase it. That's really
right,
cool.
yeah.
Um, and how does Communicate's solution, the email automation system, integrate with other ticketing systems like Zendesk, Freshdesk? Is
Yeah.
it very simple? Or do I need to have a developer? Do I have to bring in a developer to transition from there to integrate our AI, Communicate's AI with Zendesk or Freshdesk?
Yeah, so that is a very straightforward process. So we have integrations with Zendesk, Freshdesk, Salesforce, where it's a plug and play integration. You get certain settings on the interface where you have to feed in your access key and other details that you get from Zendesk, and the system will get integrated. For some of the other CRMs, that is where we have a provision where our team will, get it into your interface so that you can, plug and play that. So that option there. For very complex system, like because in some of the enterprises we have seen, they have a very complex system where they have their some internal CRM. They are not using any other third party CRMs like in-house built like CRMs. So that is where we have a provision called inline code. And in Communicate's interface, you can write an inline code to integrate with any CRMs or any other tool that you have in house, and that is where you can either involve your own development team to write that code, or you can ask our support team to help you with writing that code and getting that integration done.
Awesome. Communicate is always known for his really good customer support. That's what I keep hearing from our customers. So most of the thing that the AI is going to do, the Communicate AI is going to do, is automate the L1 queries or very basic queries. Besides that, is it also going to help agents? Are agents going to get anything specific, or will there be anything for them also?
Yeah, so see, in Communicate, right, if you have the right set of training data and the right prompts, it can automate many complex queries as well. Right, because now GenAI has become like really smart. We have also added integrations with some of the reasoning models, which OpenAI has launched recently. So with that, complex queries will also get solved. So that part is there. But yeah, basic is like very easy. Like even without much training data, basic queries you can easily automate over there.
Okay. And from a business perspective, what kind of cost saving or efficiencies can companies expect when they automate email support? Do you think that there would be a lot of savings, or will there be any?
Yeah. So see, Manav, there are two ways to look at it, right? One is your cost saving, and another is how much revenue expansion you can do, right? So when you automate your customer service and customer support, one is you are reducing the cost, of course, like because the work that earlier 100 support agent team was able to do, now the same amount of work you can get it done with 8 to 10 support agents, right? So there is a 90% cost reduction there. Other than that, the other benefit is that now your support agents are relatively free. They are much more happy, right? Because see, as a human, we don't like to do the same repeated boring work every other day, right? It gets into a point like where we feel frustrated. Hey, what am I doing with my life, right? If I have to answer every day, hey, your order is about to be dispatched, right? So there are so many things. Now, once the support agent is able to do a relatively smart work, right, where they're all easy things and are automated, and they are getting into a relationship building with the customers, or to solve some cases where, let's say, they have become for certain topics they have become a subject matter expert, and they are getting called only when something is really critical and their advice is needed, right? So that is when they will also get upskilled, and that's when they will also be happy. Now there's a big difference, right? You would have noted, if you call some of the companies support, their support agents themselves are really frustrated, right? Because they have been responding to multiple users back to back, right? And right. So they are themselves frustrated. How will they keep happy a customer who is also frustrated, right? So that is where it comes. If the support agent is happy, they can easily handle a frustrated customer. They can calm them down, right? And that has a very big difference in customer experience. Your user base, if they are happy, they have a good experience, they are going to come back to your product and service, and they are going to make more purchases. They will get more value from your product, and that helps companies in improving their revenue also. It's an indirect way, because if the company users are happy with your service, they're going to buy more from you. So that is where it comes as revenue enabler for you, and so it has like both parts. You are saving money as well as you are enabling the revenue further.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Making them feel more part of the business of the revenue also. Yeah. So they
Yeah,
more encouraged and more
yeah.
up. Yeah. So do you think AI automation can actually improve customer satisfaction, or is it just about cutting costs? A lot of companies are bringing in AI just to cut costs, or do you
Yeah.
truly believe AI can improve the CSAT score or NPS score?
Yeah, see, AI can, definitely, bring the, that, CSAT score. So although, it, in the industry, it all started with, trying to cut down the cost, but now it is not just about cutting down the cost. Now it's also about improving the customer experience so that there is a consistency in the responses. The responses are getting resolved much more faster. Just imagine a case where, let's say, it is night hours and at night time support team is not available for a lot of businesses, or the team strength is slightly lower than as compared to the day shift. And in that cases, if our AI system is able to resolve the customer query faster, that is going to have lot more impact. So for the businesses, it's also about improving customer experience. And when experience is improved, the CSAT NPS of the businesses definitely improve. We have seen for a lot of our customers where their CSAT has grown by more than 40% after they added AI chatbot into that. And in Kommunicate, we also show customers, hey, what is your human agent CSAT and what is your AI agent CSAT? And one impact of it is it's not just the AI agent CSAT that improves. One interesting fact we have seen is the human agent CSAT also improves after you enable the AI into that system, right? So that we have seen with many customers.
Awesome. I was unaware of that part where if AI's CSAT improves, it improves. There's a correlation between it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's come to the next section, which is like challenges in email support or AI and everything. While you were building the technology for email support or for AI for email support, what were some of the biggest technical challenges you faced in building the solution for email support?
Yeah, so see, in email support, one of the challenges that the data is more, the user input is more, and many times the emails, there are like a lot of email threads that keeps on going. So the you know type of data, or you can say the like tokens that you might have heard about, generative AI solution, that okay, there is like tokens limit and all. So those are some of the challenges, right? So how do you extract the important parts from an email? Because in many emails there is a confidential, some in the footer there are some information also there, right? So that is also important to be processed. And then what is the user's intent from there? So how do you shrink it down to a base summary of this is what user is looking for, and so that you can minimize the number of tokens that you are passing on onto the generative AI thing. And then in email you also get the user's email ID, the name. So has to be a personalization, right? Where based on the user's name mentioned in the email signature, you have to greet the user with the same name, because in email it's not necessary that everyone's email will have a full name over there. So these are like some of the small like challenges which we encountered while dealing with the email automation.
And how do you handle how you building the solution for there will be e-commerce companies who would be shipping to other parts of the world and they would be having
Yeah.
different languages. How will that AI for email solve for different languages?
Yeah. Yeah. So see, at Communicate we have a multilingual AI agent. Okay. So if a user has written a mail in Spanish, the AI system will respond it in Spanish. And then we have internal translations also integrated, where based on the user's email, we detect what language it is, and then we set that language for that conversation. So those are some of the things that we have solved using a combination of translation APIs and the generative AI part.
Okay, awesome. You also talked about um, trust factor. Like there's a lot of confidential information in emails where
Yeah.
with the AI should be like very strict. So, and data privacy is a very huge concern these days for every company. How does Communicate ensure that customer data is handled securely in an AI-driven system like yours?
Yeah. So, what we do is we train the models through two ways. One is where for our enterprise customers, they, share us their access to the data through APIs and all. So that is where we run our own, program to remove PII, like information, like any personally identified information. So we filter that out and then we pass it on to train the system. Another is a self-serve one, where in the self-serve approach, what we do is we let the customer review the data before they, feed it back to the training data. Like, so for example, if the customer is getting new mails, we don't automatically train that back. We give a summary of it to our customer that, hey, these are the mails, these are the chats that your users are sending. These are the things your bot is able to answer. These are the things your bot is not able to answer. This is a feedback we have received from the user. And then the admin of that department, they review those conversations and then they add it and only pass on the thing where there's no personal information. So they pass it on to the system for training. And then we have our own layer, written on top of it to exclude all that personal information.
And also, you also have data in the region, right? Like if somebody wants the data in their EU servers or North America.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So we have, we have like multiple regions. We have US, Europe, Asia. So like especially for the Europe region, because there are some GDPR policies and others. And in many cases, for enterprises, especially companies who are in, BFSI industry, for example, we have customers in insurance. They don't want their insurance data to go out of the country. All right. So that is where we have, placed their data into, certain regions for that. So we have like, multiple servers across the globe. According to the customers, data policies, we place them onto the respective region servers.
Awesome. And while training the AI on documents, and sometimes the AI might make a mistake, give a wrong answer.
Yeah.
And
right.
How do you handle it, and how do we make it understand? Okay, this is not this. The answer that you gave was incorrect. This is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Human agents, the support agents, have any play in that monitoring and improving the whole system?
Yeah. So support agents have the play in that. The team lead of the support team or head of the sales department, they have a role to play there, as well as the users feedback and users feedback. So these are the three things. So now support agents, they are able to monitor all the conversations that are happening, be it on chat or email. So support agents can see the chat history. When it comes to them, or even if it has not come to them, they can look at what conversations are going on with the AI system. They can even take it over from the AI system if they feel they need to intervene. All right, and that's the same with the team, like lead of the support team. So they have access to that. Now there's another thing is where the end user is able to give a feedback through multiple ways. Like one is a CSAT, when a chat is closed or when one particular conversation is over, the end user can give a feedback. There's another thing that we have introduced recently that is right now only over chat, but we will figure out a way to get it on email system as well, where with every reply from the AI system, the end user has the option to say thumbs up or thumbs down. Now for the thumbs down, the customer will be able to see all the conversations where there was a thumbs down and why it was there, what is the user's query, what answer came, from which source it came, so that they can fine tune it, further.
Awesome. That's something really be very useful. So currently Communicate is more focused, the AI is more focused on automating L1 queries or very basic, repeated, frequently asked queries. Do you think someday it would be able, or the AI in general over the industry would be able to resolve or automate L2, L3 queries, or will we always be needing human agents for those?
See, I think open agents will be required, but not necessarily for handling L2 or L3 queries. This is what I believe. So for many of the customers, we have already started handling their L2, L3 queries. For example, flight bookings or getting information of particular flight, where from our system we are making a API call to figure out what are the flights available between certain source and the destination. So this is a kind of a complex query, right? So that has already started happening. Now the thing is where I feel that human agents will always be there is one is for having a good customer experience, right? Because no matter what you do, there are at least few cases, like some corner cases, where things go wrong, and there has to be at least one support agent available to take care of that, because ultimately, like, that's the most important thing for any business to is to have their customers happy and to be available for them, right? Because what happens with companies, that new products get launched, new services are launched, new releases happen, and something or the other might break, or there might be some corner cases. There are so many different type of users, right? Each of the user has their own specific needs, so it's not really possible majority of the time for a product to cover 100% of the users with 100% of the use cases, right? So that is where I think support agent will be required. Just that the type of work they do, the dependency on them will keep on reducing with time, and the support agent will get into more specialized role, right? Less specialized role, right? Proactive customer support, customer success, more of a customer relationship, roles, where they will either go into direction of becoming expert into certain topics, or more customer relationship building. So one of the things you would notice now is that all the companies, they actually want to do proactive support. So proactive support means that one is you get into an issue and then you reach out to to the company that, hey, I need help with this, right? Proactive can say proactive support, or proactive help to a customer to get the customer the success, is where if you understand the customer's need, you can proactively reach out to them and help them get more value from your product and service, where you can tell them that, hey, why don't you use this, right? So now the challenge is that all the current teams are so busy firefighting with the existing set of queries that they don't have time to actively go and get their customers get more value of their product, right? So that is a change which will happen. More and more people will move towards the customer success side of roles to help customers actively.
Yeah, from proactive, I just had this real life situation of mine. I was trying some B2B SaaS software, kind of like a CRM, where you have an integration with Notion. And for
Okay.
some reason, I was not able to integrate my personal Notion with that
Mhm.
CRM. So I clicked 4 to 5 times. I think there, and then the error came in, something is wrong. We are sorry, you're not. And there is a maybe automation where if you have tried it 4 to 5 times and it's somebody just there's from the chatbot, it just pops up and then human agent, hey, we see that you have been trying to integrate for 5 times. Do you want to come on a call and let me figure this out for you? I didn't even reach out to them. They figured out. They have
Yeah.
put an automation and they're reaching out ahead of me, and like that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I would like to give you one example that I faced like couple of years back. So I had a flight for like some place in Uttarakhand. So it was like heavy raining and all, and the flight got cancelled. And I had booked the insurance, for the flight cancellation. That if the flight is cancelled, I will get some money back from there. So what happened is, once the flight was cancelled, so one is I had to reach out to the insurance company that, hey, my flight was cancelled, but the opposite happened, where they called me saying, hey, hello sir, your flight is cancelled. We are processing this insurance coverage, and you will receive the money in your account in next 7 days. right? So that is what proactive thing
Obvious.
is.
That is really, and you feel so relieved. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't have to chase them to give me my money back. They're reaching out, hey,
right,
send you your money back. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
I would definitely give them a 5-star. Yeah,
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 right.
cool. So what's next for Kommunicate, Devashish? Any new feature innovation that you are thinking about beyond? I know you're still building the
Yeah,
automation for the email, but what's next
yeah.
for Kommunicate? Any new feature innovation you guys are thinking?
Yeah. So the one is connecting all the channels. We had chat, we had omni-channel experience like WhatsApp, Telegram, and Instagram and other places. So email was one of the missing piece that we have launched recently, and then we are also working on voice. So once we launch on the voice, then the complete loop of chat, omni-channel, and email and voice will get completed. In future it might happen that we might start to see video based support. But yeah, that is something for the future. But yeah, voice, we are definitely we seeing a lot of use cases for our customers, and we are working on launching that in the next couple of months.
Yeah, most of the customers, if they're coming for chat or email, they would say, hey, can
Yeah.
they, I think they have been asking for like, do you also
Yeah.
have, and we had to say, we are really sorry
Yeah.
with it, but
Yeah,
coming
right.
in for us. Yeah. Okay. So as we wrap up this session, what's your vision for the future of customer support? How do you see AI transforming the way businesses will interact, just beyond voice chat and anything? AI in a whole, throughout the whole business, where the whole customer support thing will go in.
Yeah. So one is, of course, that there will not be any waiting lines, right? Because we have faced that problem ourselves, calling someone support, and we are on a phone line. Some music is playing, so that is going to end, right? So that is not a good experience, and slowly companies are automating that, and one day majority of the companies will automate that. So that will end. Customer support roles will get evolved to a more of a customer success, customer relationship management role, right? And all these like basic set of things will get solved with AI. Even the complex ones will start getting solved, right? So I think things will move more towards proactiveness. It's like before the customer reaches out to you, you are reaching out to them to get the more value of your product and services. So that is definitely going to happen, and more workflows will get automated, which we have already started seeing. What I mean by workflow is that there are certain set of actions which gets done. So like, for example, today's support is more like, okay, someone is asking a question, you are doing something, and then more actionable means that you get the information or you do certain actions, right? So I think that kind of workflows will start happening. For example, in healthcare, let's say if you call a hospital's number and you say, hey, book my appointment with XYZ doctor, it can make an entry to their EHR system. It can also add it to your calendar automatically, and then it can also help you save some of your past histories, right? So a lot of those action driven things will start happening. A lot of agentic AI will come into the picture. Right now it's more information information retrieval and less actions, but in future it will be like very action heavy, is what I believe the future is going to be.
Yeah, I see companies automating at least appointment scheduling with an AI.
Yeah.
But yeah, even though there are companies like OpenAI doing a lot of things, but in business, when it comes to like coming into like real life examples and businesses, so that's where it has to catch up, and it will take some time, I guess. Yeah, but the way AI is exploding, it will be fast.
Yeah.
And so, for businesses now listening to this podcast or to this episode, what's the very first step they should take if they want to explore an AI-powered email automation or ticketing system?
Yeah, I think the first step is identifying the use cases, where they see a lot of queries, understanding the impact of the customer experience. Like, are they losing money because of that? Are their customers getting frustrated? What is the impact, right? and then gathering the data that is required for at least starting up the basic chatbot AI agent into the place, right? To start small. Like many times I've seen people think, okay, they have to get a lot of data and then only they can start using it. But I think can start small with a small set of data, automate that, get the user feedback, see how the queries are happening, and so it's best to partner with some of the tools. So there are like many tools in the market, including Kommunicate, which makes really easy to try it out. Like in 15-20 minutes you can give it a try and have it live, right? So I think that would be the first step. Try it out and then constantly monitor it, and see where further data, further improvements are required. And once you have seen the good amount of improvement, and after certain time that you can maybe reduce the cycle of the review. But yeah, in the initial period, close monitoring is important on that part. Yeah, so that would be my advice to integrate on that.
Awesome. Devashish, thank you so much. I think those were all the questions I had prepared for you today for this podcast. But I really want to thank you for your time. Do you, anyway, before closing out, do you want to share something which maybe you had something in mind that you want to share?
Nothing specifically, but yeah, just that one important thing on automating the support side is that it's not only about automating the support, but it's also critical that you identify why your support queries are even coming, right? And that is what you get once you have started automating it. You will have a lot of data, then you can use AI to get some insights from it on why the support query is even coming, because the best customer experience is not about how fast customer issues is solved. It's about customers not getting into any trouble at all. Yeah, so I think that's where I would suggest everyone to start looking at and see things from there.
That's a really, really great session. Yeah. Thank you, Devashish. I think that's all for today's session, and I would like to thank all of our listeners listening to this podcast. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Devashish, for taking the time out today.
Thank you, Madhav. Thank you for having me here. Thank you. Good day. Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.